The Igbo Socio-Economic Apex Group, Ohanaeze Igbo, has rejected the proposal for the creation of 31 additional states currently at the House of Representatives, saying that the imbalance in the number of states between the North and the South should be addressed first before discussing the creation of more states. Good morning once again, and this is how I welcome you to Political Assembly on Ebonade 103.5 FM. I am Martin Epanshuku Ekeze. One of the major, benefits of, the creation of more states in Nigeria is that it is going to enable, governance get closer to the people, because this will now enable the structure of government to disseminate, amongst, councils, local councils, and all of that in governance. But the question remains: is Nigeria, ready for such, development? Can Nigeria, accommodate that? Being that a lot of people are complaining about the fact that it is even difficult now for government to keep up with some of its responsibilities, not to talk of when there is more states. Now, on this edition of Political Assembly, we'll be looking into, the uh, concerns of different, groups in Nigeria, that of Ohanaeze Igbo, that of the Yoruba people, and all of that, the Northerners. But majorly, when it comes to the Southerners, everybody is just concerned about, balancing, the states, getting to balance the amount of states that we have in Nigeria before, amongst the, ethnic groups, before we can now, begin to talk about, developing more states or creating more states. As we proceed, you should know that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 081 38 39 7740 or 081 39 25 6742 or 080 65 79 6599. A former Minister of Transportation, Senator Idris Abdullahi, on Friday described the decision to create 31 additional states as far from Nigeria's priority. Abdullahi, who was a two-time House of Representatives member representing Yamatu, Deba, and represented Gombe Central once in the Senate, noted that the decision would not yield a result. The politician, who described the 31 additional states as an exercise in futility, made this disclosure in a chat with newsmen in Gombe. He said, I don't subscribe to state creation. I don't believe this is a priority for now. Starting the process in the National Assembly, is dead on arrival, but it's easier to pass a camel through the eye of a needle than to meet the constitutional requirements of creating any state in Nigeria under the current constitution. For me, it is an exercise in futility. Speaking further, he noted that assuming the ops for state creation, he stressed that it may not be possible with the current political setup. How can people propose the creation of 31 states unless they want to create country under a military setup? The military can divide and share everything that comes from the federal government's purse with just a decree. We participated in a number of constitutional amendments when I was in the National Assembly. We tried to avoid that route of state creation. We refused to make it attractive for anybody to approach us with the proposal for state creation, he added. Now, this you just listen to the concern of former House of Representative member who is concerned about the fact that Nigeria cannot keep up with the responsibility of creating a new state. Now, the Ohanaeze tells reps create two states for South before proposing 31 new states. Ohanaeze tells reps. Igbo Socio-Economic Apex Group Ohanaeze Ndigbo has rejected the proposal for the creation of 31 additional states currently at the House of Representatives, saying that the imbalance in the number of states between North and the South should be addressed first before discussing the creation of more states. In a statement in Abakaliki, the Deputy National President of Ohanaeze faction, Okechukwu Isiguzoro, insisted that for the sake of equity and justice, two additional states should be created in the South to balance the numbers in the North, making it 19 states each. He noted that the proposal is an exercise in futility, characterized by a blatant lack of credibility and a fundamental misunderstanding of the criteria essential for establishing viable political entities. He maintained that the suggestion to create an unwieldy number of new states is premature and displays a level of immaturity unbecoming of the representatives, stressing that the proposal to do nothing but cast a shadow over the stature of the House of Representatives and compromise its essential role in governance. He noted that Ohanaeze Ndigbo staunchly reaffirms his position that any discourse regarding state creation must prioritize the southern region of Nigeria, which has been historically underrepresented with 17 states, whereas the North has 19 states, an imbalance he described as unacceptable. Now, Isi Guzoro appealed to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to summon the political will and moral strength necessary to correct this long-standing imbalance in state representation, adding that the political and economic advantages enjoyed by the North, due in larger parts to its 19 states, must be counterbalanced by the creation of two additional states in the South. So the states that that is being proposed now in the National Assembly, is 31 in number. 31 new states uh, for House of Reps. That is 31 new states being proposed in the House of Reps. So the states include Benue Ala State from Benue State, Okun State from Kogi State, Okura State from Kogi State, Confluence State from Kogi State, APA Aba State, Upper Aba State from Benue State Senatorial District, Upper State from Benue State, the a 37th state, Federal Capital Territory from Abuja. Then he said there is also Amana State from Adamawa State, Katagum State from Bauchi State, Savannah State from Brunu State, Muri State from Taraba State, New Kaduna State and Gurara State from Kaduna State, Tiga State from Kano State, Kainji State from Kebbi State, Gari State from Kano State, Etiti State, okay, for the Southeast Geopolitical Zone, Adada State from Enugu State, Urashi State from Southeast Political Zone, Oro State from Southeast region of Nigeria, Aba State from Southeast region, Ogoja State from Cross River State, Warri State from Delta State, Buri State from River State, Oboro State from Rivers and Akwa Ibom States, Toru Ebe State from Delta, Edo and Ondo State, Ibadan State from Oyo State, Lagoon State from Lagos State, Ijebu State from Ogun State, Okeogun from Ogun State, Ife Ijesha from Oyo and Osun States. So, are you in support of the proposed creation of states, the new proposal to create more states, 31 states in number? It concerns you and me. We need to talk about it. This is the political assembly on Ebon I don't want to trade of FM. And you can become part of the conversation. Call me now to become part of the conversation on 081 38 39 7740 or 081 39 25 6742 or 080 65 79 6599. Yes, Ihaina Abamakiana, this particular edition of Political Assembly, Nebon, I don't want to trade of African, but they propose creation of new states, 31 states in number. And one of the things Anna Ibudaka when we na Obona create more states now okay help when make a governance get closer to the people. Just the way it's when they create most of them now, when like any propose, not that they create here. It's a lot of people you na or man work. You have to go ahead like a particular, former or ex-House of Reps member who is saying that it won't work because now Nigeria amamini ifediminia. It creates new states, we have not handled him. But in the essence, like Nani Bastalo Iwelo governance will get closer to the people. Imagine a situation whereby now Enwelo, governor of Aba, who can now focus mostly about just here Bastalo development of Aba when it comes to even the commercial, nav, like the everything we want to do with Aba, all those developments and Nejalanya, even in the essence of he may create more, he produce more products like that. Abona when governor just may pay attention to that. But let's hear from you. Can you hear me now? Let's hear from you now. Hello. Hello. Yes, good morning, my brother. Welcome. No. Okay, Gabani Rusa. Oh. No, no, kind of. Okay. Yes. Yes, to an extent now, the borders are. Okay. Mm. Mm. Hello, my brother. Thank you so much for joining us this morning and on our political assembly. Nebona, the 103 of Part FM, kind on Ototwa. We're not Mamaka, the creation of new states, the propose, the proposal, and then what Taketa for to create new states, na Nigeria. 31 of them, including even Aba State. So a lot of people in Nigeria are from the aspect that urban audio too, that the governance will come closer to the people. So what is your take on the matter? Don't you think to some people in Nigeria have a figure work on a very good day. So but the numbers you call and tell us what you think is 081 38 39 7740 or 081 39 25 6742 or 080 65796599. Gone are the days when government or the activities of the government will be going on in Asen or Bastalago because if or meet at your own doorstep. So that's why we must talk about the situation to also change the narratives to shape the politics the way it must go. So 08138 397740 or 081 39256742. Yes, Lute na states go here. Benue Ala State from Benue State, Okun State from Kogi State, Ukwara State from Kogi State, Confluence State from Kogi State, Apa Aba State from Benue State, Senatorial District, Apa State from Benue State, and Amana State from Adamawa. A lot of 31 of them. Goyokulu Abba State. Yes, on the day, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Sibo Benjamin Kalu, who presided over the plenary on Thursday, read a letter from the committee containing the proposed states. If approved, this will increase the number of states in Nigeria to 67. The letter read, this is to inform members that the House of Representatives Committee on the Review of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 has received legislative proposal for the creation of states and local governments in the following order. Benue Ala State from present Benue State, Okun State from present Kogi State, taking this, Amana State from the present Adamawa State, Katagum State from the present Bauchi State, Savannah State from the present Brunu State, Muri State from the present Taraba State. You're welcome back to Ebona and the 103.5 FM. We apologize for that little break in transmission as we are back to serve you better. And this is a political assembly on Ebona and the 103.5 FM. We are looking into the creation of states. The proposal to create more states in Nigeria, 31 of them, making the states in Nigeria, like if it is approved, it will now become 67 states in Nigeria. So before we went on that, break, we are on to the letter, that was given to the Deputy Speaker of House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, who presided over the plenary on Thursday when this, issue came up. And I said this is to inform members that the House of Representatives Committee on the Review of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as outed, has received the legislative proposals for the creation of states and local governments in the following order: Benue Ala State from present Benue State, Okun State from present Kogi State, Okura State from the present Kogi State, Confluence State from the present Kogi State, Upper Aba State from Benue South Senatorial District, Upper State from the present Benue State, and a 37 states, namely Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, 8. Amana State from the present Adamawa State, Katagum State from the present Bauchi State, Savannah State from the present Borno State, Muri State from the present Taraba State, New Kaduna State and Gurara State from the present Kaduna State, Tiga State from the present Kano State, Kainji State from the present Kebbi State, Gari State from the present Kano State, ATT State as the sixth state in the Southeast Geopolitical Zone, Ada State from the present Enugu State of Nigeria, Urashi State as the sixth state in the Southeast Geopolitical Zone, Oro State from the Southeastern region of Nigeria, Aba State from the Southeastern region of Nigeria, Ugoja State from the present Cross River State, Warri State from the present Delta State, Bori State from the present River State, Oboro State from the present Rivers and Akwa Ibom State, Toru Webe State from the present Delta, Edo, Ondo State, Ibadan State from the present Oyo State, Lagoon State from the present Lagos State, Ijebu State from the present Ogun State, Lagoon State from the present Lagos State and Ogun State, Ife Ijesha State from the present Oyo State, Oke Ogun from the present day Ogun, Oyo, and Osun State. For a long time, a lot of people ask for this state. A lot of people, even in the southeast, a lot of people continue to, clamor for, creation of more states that it will enable, governance get to the people. And that's why, Ohanaeze Ndigbo is now asking that before the proposal for the creation of states, that first, uh, more states, two states should be created for the south. Yes, you are tuned to Ebona, the 103.5 FM, and this is Political Assembly. Let's hear from you right about now. Hello. Mm, welcome back, my brother. No. Mm, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Okay. Okay. Mm. 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 Mm-mm. Mm. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning, my brother. Dalo, keep the calls coming. Let's talk about it. You wouldn't, Babona, don't say that no bastalogi. All the very important our aim here is to change the narrative, to depict or to shape the polity the way it must go. So keep the calls coming on 08138397740 or 08139256742 or 08065796599. Yes, a lot of people argue that the creation of new states will enable the government to get to the people. It will bring governance closer to the people. Because the proposal seems to it seeks to address demands for greater representation, economic viability, and regional balance in governance. Breakdown of the proposed creation of 31 additional states in Nigeria. Yes, at the same time, a lot of people argue that this particular proposal to create more states in Nigeria said it will enhance governance, bringing government closer to the people, ensuring fairer distribution, at the end of the day. So, what is your take on the matter? Would you like to one day see a Aba state, and all of that, just the way it is being proposed now? So, the numbers once again. Numbers once again 08138397740 or 08139256742. And I said before we get into this proposed states, the House of Representatives Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution. You should know that this thing came about because, of the review of the 1999 Constitution. Is in charge of amending the Nigerian Constitution, where we all know and reference. And if you are not aware that the Constitution is getting amended, we don't need, to exactly blame you because the government hasn't been the loudest about it, but somehow, this, Constitution is being amended, and that's why this proposal for creation of 31 new states came about. Now, in February 2024, a constitution review committee was established with members from each of Nigeria's 36 states. The committee includes key leaders from the House of Representatives, regional house groups, six women from each of Nigeria's six geopolitical zones, representatives of people with disabilities, and members of the civil rights groups. These guys have been working consistently to bring the updated constitution to life. The committee is a big deal. If the majority of lawmakers from the Senate, House of Representatives, and House of Assembly of the affected states agree, the proposal for new states could actually become part of the amended constitution. So, would you like to see that Benue Ala State, Okun State, Okura State, Confluence State, Apa Aba State, Apa State, Federal Capital Territory Abuja, Amana State, Katagum State, Savannah State, Muri State, New Kaduna State and Gurara State, Tiga State, Kainji State, Gari State, Ekiti, not Ekiti, Etiti State, Adada State, Urachi State, Oru State, Aba State. Would you like to see that? So the numbers once again 08138397740 or 08139256742 mobile 08065796599. Yes, back again for that. Some people now, but some people gonna complain sometimes that some of the things that they propose in the house are they fit exactly the need of the people. But if you look at it at the time, if you find out now, this is the need of the people. No, the people clamored for this. I remember, for a long time, a lot of people clamored for an Yoma state. A lot of, over time before we heard this. And you should remember that in the Pota get together with all of this about for people who are representing us, in different localities of Nigeria, Kosidi at the end of the day. So, how important are they? now get created 31 states in Nigeria today. Yes, at the same time, a lot of people think that Obona any creative these states, Obona at the end na agree with creative here. Noga Noga the expensive one. Oga affect a lot of things, but the essence is so that the governance will get to the people at the end of the day. But the people who are a lot of people who are speaking against this in the based on the fact na hama na Oga they very difficult for Nigeria as a country to carry it out. One of them were below, the ex member, National Assembly member, he faulted the reps for the 31 new states proposal.